YouTube? It's your boy JR3, and today we have for you She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episode 2. This episode it was better than the first episode. It was still a little bit fast-paced, but of course, we got set up for how the rest of the episodes are gonna go. We also got it set up for what I believe is gonna be another Hulk movie. I have heard speculations it could be World War Hulk, or I don't know, but I believe we are being set up for another solo Hulk movie. I don't know, if it's gonna be Professor Hulk or Smart Hulk as they call it in the series, but I don't know if it's gonna be the Raging Green Hulk we're used to, but I believe we are being set up. But let's dive on into the show. So of course, we first open up with news break on all the news outages and everything, what took place at the trial, She-Hulk, Jen transforming into the Hulk, stopping Titania, and then, basically we shift from that to basically now she's at a bar, and it's basically like, She-Hulk is being celebrated because, she saved everybody. So of course they're gonna go out and celebrate. Jen's friends, they basically, tell her, you ought to get the people what they want. So she goes into the bar as She-Hulk, and of course, everybody is happy to see her. Well, everybody except for that lawyer. I forgot his name. The first lawyer that wanted to take the case from Jen and says, it would sound better learning from him. He's not that happy. He basically says, she picked the case as a time to show off or whatever, and basically, he basically gives her attitude, and then he just leaves. So then she after that she gets approached by her boss, and of course her boss asks her, can she transform back into Jen, because it's a serious matter. So she transforms. The funny thing about it, if you remember from the first episode, Hulk told her, when they're in Hulk form, they can drink so much alcohol and not get drunk. Well, then when she transforms back to Jen, she basically, is like completely wasted and all, because she has a different metabolism. But, her boss basically tells her, because of your little stunt or whatever, She-Hulk, the trial is a mistrial, so they basically lost. And so, he was like, we're gonna have to fire you. And it doesn't like hit her till like later, and she realized, like, wait, you're firing me? Then that leads us, to her basically going on this montage of trying to find new jobs and stuff. Every job she goes to is no, can't have you, can't have superheroes. I can't take a chance on She-Hulk. Absolutely not. No, everything. So then, she's back at the crib, with her and her paralegal, Nikki, and they're basically, still job searching. And then you get that one text, that you don't really want to get whenever you just been fired or laid off a job, and it's, family dinner. So she gets that text from her family and stuff, don't be late for family dinner. And of course, they already know. So she goes to family dinner and stuff, and when she goes to the family dinner, like, of course, it's always that one person. Oh, yeah, I heard you got fired. It's always that one person. So then the dad calls her into the garage, because he basically just trying to check on you, see how things are. And she basically, she rambles on about how she lost her job trying to save people. Shouldn't she just have let the people get smushed by the death? But what kind of person would that make her? Somewhere on the lines of that Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. It's almost the implied fact that she has this power, but she used it, and now she's basically, getting chastised for basically saving folks. So then she goes back to the bar, and that's when she's approached by this other man. I forgot his name, but she's approached by him, and he basically, tells her that he was the reason their trial got charged as a mistrial. So basically, I'm letting you know, hey, I'm the reason you got fired. And then, so he basically lets her know that, but then he offers her a job to be head of his superhero division at his law firm. So course, she accepts. So then the next day, he was like, I don't care who your paralegal is or whatever. So of course, she gets her paralegal back, Nikki. And then so she's off, for her first day on her new job or whatever. And he basically tells her, I expect you to be at work and at all court cases as She-Hulk. So she has to transform back into She-Hulk. Of course, she breaks the fourth wall because she complaining about, she's just trying to be herself, but now she has to hold this job as She-Hulk or whatever, and talking about all the other people. I bet they haven't had to deal with this or anything. So then that's when she's assigned her first task, and it's forgot the guy's name again, but it's this guy who is basically Abomination, and he's being held, in his prison center. So before she accepts, she tells him, she has a conflict of interest. He tried to kill my cousin Bruce, as in we all know in the Incredible Hulk, and he's basically, like, yeah, that's cool. He's made amends for that, all that. So this is your case. If you don't accept this case, you don't have a job here. So of course she accepts, but before that, she goes to meet whatever the guy's name is. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name, but she goes to meet him. And so then when she goes to meet him, he basically says, he has had time to think about his actions or whatever, and he's sorry or whatever. Basically, just trying to give that little good boy talk, to get out of jail or whatever. So then she goes and she calls Bruce because she wants to take the job, but she wants to check with Bruce first, and not really check with him, but basically just to tell him that she's taking the job. So she rambles on the phone, barely let Bruce get a word in, and Bruce says, I think you're calling me to tell me you're taking the job. And she's like, that's basically what I'm calling you for. And he's, that's good and stuff. So then she asks him, when will he be back in LA? And he says, he's not going to be around for a while because he has got some stuff he got to take care of. So then we see Bruce, Smart Hulk or Professor Hulk. We see him in the spaceship we saw in the first episode that came looking for him, came from Sakaar looking for him. We see him in that same ship in outer space. He takes off. So he's going back to Sakaar. As from the comments, I know that, we don't know if we're getting World War Hulk or not, but Bruce is heading back to Sakaar to take care of whatever he needs to. So I don't know how that's going to set everything up, but I'm hyped for that. So then she basically, she calls the man, she tells him, that she'll take the job. And he said, great, that's perfect. He said, but you might want to turn on the TV. And she turns on the TV to where the news reporter, they're reporting, and they're talking about basically the scene that we saw in Shang-Chi. Now that the person that she's representing has been broken out of jail and is in an underground club fighting. And basically, if you remember from Shang-Chi, that's when Wong was breaking Abomination out of his cell to go fight in that underground club and then basically putting him back in jail. Well, now, I don't know how they got footage of it, and now, she's facing that. And so that's where the episode cuts off. The post-credit scene, well, not the post-credit, the end-credit scene was basically, just her back at her family's house again, when she went over for family night or whatever. They had her do a lot of things as She-Hulk. She basically fixed the wires on the TV, brought a whole bunch of water in, lifted up a car so they could change the tire. Basically, it was just that. And then that was it. So, yeah, like I said, another quick, fast-paced episode. It was better than the first one. I really like how, they're setting everything up. I believe we'll get to see Wong next episode now that she's dealing with that case. I also want to see, what's next for the actual Hulk, Bruce, now that he's gone to Sakaar. And yeah, I just can't wait to see where else the series is going. But yeah, I'm enjoying the show. No complaints. So yeah, That was my review. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, it's your boy JR3, and I'll holla at you.